Public Service Commission is currently holding examinations to recruit over 9,000 officials at the local level. However, the government has yet to formulate laws that define the appointment procedures and salaries and benefits of the officials selected through the examinations, among others. The center's delay in forming the Federal Civil Service Act has affected the formation of laws needed to deploy staff at the provincial and local levels. Good morning, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli directs ministers and secretaries to work in line with the year's budget plans to support the government in achieving goals set for the ongoing fiscal year. The delay in forming the Federal Civil Service Act causes confusion in recruiting over 9,000 officials at the local level and providing service facilities. U.S. intelligence officials say Al-Qaeda founder Osama bin Laden's son Hamza is dead. Details of place and date of the death yet to be ascertained. And Tottenham Hotspur defeat Bayern Munich 6-5 in a penalty shootout to win the Audi Cup title in the finale held earlier this morning. Let's begin with the national political updates. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has directed ministers and secretaries to work in line with the year's budget plans to support the government in achieving the goals set for the ongoing fiscal year. Premier Oli summoned all the ministers and secretaries yesterday at his official residence in Balwatar and directed them to start preparing a schedule to implement the budget. Premier Oli stated that excuses in failure to implement the budget would not be acceptable. The Premier emphasized that the public had great expectations from the government with two-thirds majority. Oli expressed that Nepal's abnormal trade deficit, status of poverty and frustrations in the job market had him worried and urged everyone to work towards improving the situation.
हुनै नपर्ने हुनै नसक्ने कुरा हो तर विडम्बना त्यही भइरहेको छ यसलाई बदल्नु छ र हामीलाई त्यो बदल्नका लागि जनताले अस्थिरता भयो अस्थिरताले बदल्न दिएन भनेर स्थिरता दिएको छ बहुमतको सरकार देशमा छ।
Premier Oli also directed the ministers and secretaries to introduce programs to increase agricultural production, citing the current scale of import of agricultural produces had raised questions on the country's capacity. Prime Minister Oli also struck a work agreement with the ministers. At the meeting held yesterday, Secretary at the Ministry of Fiscal Infrastructure and Transport Management, Devendra Karki, and Home Secretary Prem Kumar Rai had presented a detailed work plan for their respective ministries for the ongoing fiscal year. The Public Service Commission is currently holding examinations to recruit over 9,000 officials at the local level. However, the government has yet to formulate laws that define the appointment procedures and salaries and benefits of the officials selected through the examinations, among others. The center's delay in forming the Federal Civil Service Act has affected the formation of laws needed to deploy staff at the provincial and local levels. Based on the central government's requirement, the Public Service Commission called for applications for 9,161 posts at 515 local levels on 29th of May. The Public Service Commission is holding its first round of examinations of the applicants. There are altogether 43,800 staff at the local levels and 13,800 at the provincial levels. However, the government lacks the laws required to deploy 57,600 of the existing staff at both of these levels and those that will be recruited after the evaluations. The center's delay in forming the Federal Civil Service Act has affected the formation of the Civil Service Acts at the local and provincial levels. The bill for the Federal Civil Service Act has been registered at the State Affairs and Good Governance Committee of the House of Representatives and is awaiting discussions for approval.
र अहिले गति अलि बढेको छ र 70% जति काम सकिएको छ 30% मात्रै बाँकी छ बरु यति जरुर हो कि यहाँ पेश गर्नमै सरकारबाट ढिला भएकै हो यसका कारणले पनि ढिलो देखिएको छ समितिमा आइसकेपछि यसलाई सुरु गर्न फेरि ढिलो भएको हो अवश्य पनि हो संघीय निजामती सेवा ऐन बनिसकेपछि प्रदेश निजामती सेवा ऐन बनाउने बाटो खुल्छ त्यससित नबाजिने गरी बनाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ त्यसकारण यसले बन्नु पर्यो पहिला त्यसैलाई नबाजिने गरी फेरि स्थानीय तहको ऐनहरू बन्ने पर्छ
The bill's approval will pave way for the formation of laws at the local and provincial levels. However, analysts are of the view that lack of such laws might create confusions on the appointment procedure of the new officials at the local and provincial levels.
हामी एउटा अपेक्षा गरेका छौं के भने अब संघीय निजामती सेवा ऐन राज्य व्यवस्था समितिमा छलफलको क्रममा छ अब यो छिटै आउँछ र प्रदेश र स्थानीय तहका सेवा शर्त सम्बन्धी कानुनका आधारभूत सिद्धान्त र मापदण्ड पनि छिटै बन्छन् भन्ने हामीले आशा गरेका छौं
There is a provision to form a provincial public service commission to recruit officials at the local and provincial levels. While 2 provinces have proceeded with the formation of the commission, the remaining 5 are awaiting for the formation of such laws to form their own commissions. This calls for the State Affairs Committee to begin discussions on the bill for the Civil Service Act at the earliest. Welcome back. We take pride in our temples and other religious and cultural heritages for their ancient designs and styles. Foreigners appreciate the knowledge and skills used in Nepalese heritages. However, the reconstruction works of most of the heritages affected by the April 2015 earthquake have been assigned to foreign agencies. This raises serious threats on hurting our pride and dignity. We have a report.
The American Embassy helped reconstruct the Gaddi Baitak at Kantipur, built by then Rana Prime Minister Chandra Samsher 111 years ago, which suffered damages in the massive earthquake of 2015. The nearby Notale Darbar, or the 9-story palace, is being reconstructed by the Chinese government, while Japan is making preparations to rebuild the Aga Che at Hanmandoka. Works of the reconstruction of heritages have been assigned to foreigners, citing lack of qualified technicians and budget. However, Nepalese technicians are capable for the reconstruction of Nepalese heritages that were built in our traditional designs and styles. Despite foreigners shouldering the responsibility of reconstructing the heritages, Nepalese craftsmen have been employed in the projects.
काठमाडौँमा एउटा धरहरा बनाउँदा 3 अरब 45 करोडको बजेट लागेछ हैन यदि 3 अरब पैसा लगाउनु भयो भने हाम्रो काठमाडौँका सम्पदा सबै नै व्यवस्थित बन्छ जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ किनभने त्यति सम्पदामा त्यति ठुलो बजेट लाग्दैन ठुलो पैसा होइन तर हामी यसमा किन हो यो अलि सरकारको पनि कमजोरी छ त्यसलाई म भन्नै पर्छ म पनि सत्ता पछि भए पनि त्यसकारण हामीले अहिलेसम्म सम्पदा बुझ्ने मन्त्रालयमा नेतृत्व नगरेको पनि समस्या हुन्छ
The Bhaktapur municipality is reconstructing its heritages after rejecting the proposal from the government of Germany to rebuild the damaged heritages at their own investment of 1.25 billion rupees.
हाम्रा पुर्खाका ती हामी सन्तति भइसकेपछि उहाँहरूले बनाइराखेको कुरा त संरक्षण त हामी गर्न सक्छौं होला तर तपाईहरुको निर्देशन अलिकति भएन बरु हामी बनाउँछौं तपाईहरुको आर्थिक सहयोग दिनुस् अनुगमन गर्नुस् जहाँ मिलेको छैन करेक्सन गर्ने कुरामा हामी सहमत छौं नहुँदैन हामी नै बस्ने भन्ने खालको कुरा आइसकेपछि त्यो एउटा बुदामा हामी सहमत नै हुन सकेनौं
While foreign aid should be accepted in the reconstruction of heritages, the creation of a situation where it hurts our own pride and dignity is inappropriate. Heritages being reconstructed by foreigners are being rebuilt on their own designs. Since the designs and styles are of the foreigners, we will no longer be able to take pride on the craftsmanship and authenticity of Nepal.
पुनर्निर्माणहरुमा विदेशी पैसाको प्रयोग गर्ने अथवा विदेशी चाहिँ नि विशेषज्ञहरुको प्रयोग गर्ने भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ नि युक्तिसंगत चाहिँ देखिदैन भोलि चाहिँ नि हाम्रा सम्पदाहरु यो चाहिँ नि चीनले बनाइदिएको यो चाहिँ नि अमेरिकनले बनाइदिएको यो अमेरिकन प्राविधिकहरुले भन्दाखेरि त हाम्रो चाहिँ त्यसको चाहिँ एउटा सम्पदाको जुन मर्म हो त्यो नै ह्रास भएर जान्छ त्यसकारण पनि यो गर्नु हुँदैन भन्ने त एउटा सैद्धान्तिक कुरा नै हो
Heritages like Nautale Darbar are the identities of Nepal. In addition to that, such heritages remind us of our history. Many heritages that age over 200 years are popular for their own significance and stories. This is why the issue of involvement of foreigners in the reconstruction and rebuilding of heritages must not be taken lightly.
Welcome back. In our public voice segment, we had asked the locals in Kantipur district how have they found the services delivered by the district administration office. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
जो आफ्नो छन् त्यसको अगाडि काम गर्दिन्छन् हैन जो अब नचिनेका छन् तिनीहरुलाई पछाडी काम गर्दिन्छन् जो नचिनेका छन् तिनीहरुलाई अलि आपत्ति हुन्छ
टाढाको मान्छे त्यति उ पनि भएन है तुरुन्तै भइहाल्यो काम जान त अब जानु पर्यो कोठा कोठा नगए त बन्दैन काम
कुन फाटमा के काम गर्ने त्यो छैन कि उसले अर्को फाटमा पठाउने कम्प्युटरले डड्डा खोज्ने डड्डाले कम्प्युटरमा जा भन्ने कुरो मेरो अहिले म राजधानीको लागि फर्म भर्न आए मेरो नागरिकता सक्कल थिएन तर मेरो नागरिकता सक्कल खोज्नको लागि मलाई तीनटा ठाउँमा जानु पर्यो
यो कोठाबाट त्यो कोठा त्यो कोठाबाट त्यो कोठा धेरै भिड भइया छ त्यहाँ हामीलाई अब न लेखेको न पढेको मान्छेलाई अलि अप्ठ्यारो पनि भएको छ
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question. What has led to the situation where the Prime Minister has to issue directives time and again? Your options are A. Inefficient authority mechanism, B. Unsatisfactory performance, and C. To address public expectations. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the sports news.
Sports news.
Tottenham Hotspur were crowned 2019 Audi Cup champions after defeating hosts Bayern Munich 6-5 on penalties following a 2-all draw at the Allianz Arena earlier this morning. Eric Lamela gave last season's UEFA Champions League runners-up Tottenham a 1-0 lead by scoring in the 19th minute. Christian Eriksen doubled Tottenham's lead, finding the net in the 59th minute. Jan Fiat Arp got away from the Spurs' defense to reduce the deficit to 2-1 less than 2 minutes later. Alphonso Davies came up with an equalizer in the 81st minute to tie the match at 2-all and force penalties. Spurs won the shootout 6-5, with Eriksen being the only Tottenham player to miss the spot kick. And it's time now for our special segment, Glorious History.
On 29 July 1921, Adolf Hitler became the leader of the National Socialist German Workers, or Nazi Party. Under Hitler, the Nazi Party grew into a mass movement and ruled Germany as a dictatorial state from 1933 to 1945. Hitler's early years did not seem to predict his rise as a political leader. Born on 20th of April 1889 in Austria, he was a poor student and never graduated from high school. During World War I, he joined a Bavarian regiment of the German army and was considered a brave soldier. However, his commanders felt he lacked leadership potential and never promoted him beyond corporal. Following Germany's defeat in World War II, during which around 6 million European Jews were murdered under Hitler's state-sponsored extermination programs, the Nazi Party was outlawed and many of its top officials were convicted of war crimes. On 30th of July 1966, England defeated West Germany 4-2 in the final of FIFA World Cup with hat-trick from Jeff Hurst. West Ham United legend Hurst made history when he fired 3 goals to become the first and only player to net a treble in the biggest game in football. It was England's first success in major sports championships to clinch their maiden and only Football World Cup title. Likewise, notable performances were made by the 2 debutants, Portugal ending 3rd and North Korea getting to the quarterfinals after a 1-0 win against Italy. Also notable was the elimination of world champions Brazil after the preliminary round and the fact that all 4 semi-finalists were European, a situation occurring in only 4 other World Cups in 1934, 1982, 2006 and 2018. The World Cup final held in Wembley Stadium was also the last to be broadcast in black and white. Similarly, the tournament held a FIFA record for the largest average attendance until it was surpassed by Mexico in 1970. On 26th of July 1971, Apollo 15 began its mission to become the 9th crewed mission in the United States Apollo program and the 4th to land on the moon. It was the first J mission with a longer stay on the moon and a greater focus on science than earlier landings. The mission that ended on 7th of August involved the lunar surface exploration from 30th of July to 2nd of August. The mission accomplished its goals but was marred by negative publicity the following year when it emerged that the crew had carried unauthorized postal covers to the lunar surface, some of which were sold by a West German stamp dealer. The members of the crew were criticized for poor judgment and did not fly in the space again. Apollo 15 is also remembered for having found the Genesis rock and for Scott's use of a hammer and a feather to validate Galileo's theory that without air resistance, objects drop at the same rate due to gravity. This is Bipashna Tamang for Kantipur News Desk.
And that's all for the moment. Keep watching Kantipur Television HD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a good morning.